If you wake up the next morning with curry powder in your cleavage, that's how you know you've had a good time. Hey there, I'm Paige Turner. I am the author of 7 books at the time of this filming. And as an author whose name is Paige Turner, probably the most frequently asked question I get is it your real name? Is Paige Turner the name on your birth certificate?
Let's just say inquiring minds want to know, eh?
So I thought I would do a video today and answer that question. It's kind of a long story, but I'll keep it as short as I can. I'll get to the point. Is Paige Turner on my birth certificate? The answer is yes and no.
It's complicated.
So it kind of depends on what you're talking about. Is Paige actually my name? Paige is on my birth certificate. It's there.
Your birth certificate?
Turner is not. So my actual last name is not Turner. It is something completely different. But for the record, I've had 3 different real last names.
We got several aliases.
It's my maiden name, I've been married, and I've been remarried. And my current last name, actually, my husband's last name, my random last name, is pretty close to Turner, which is actually sort of how I ended up with the name Paige Turner. So, story time. Back when we lived in Cleveland, back before I was a nomad and I was traveling on the road full time, my husband Justin and I, we were the people with the house out of all of our friends, the party house. So we were always the host of all the get-togethers. We would have really great parties at our house, fairly big ones. You know, we're talking 40 or 50 people and, at least a few large ones a year. I would say the parties probably averaged every couple of months. So back in 2016, when I was starting to blog online and I was working on getting my first book ready for publication, I was thinking about pen names. You know, pen names are kind of a sticky issue, right? Some people love them, some people hate them.
Sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen.
They tend to make life a little easier if your name's hard to spell or hard to say or hard to remember, or if you want some level of separation between your professional and your personal life.
Oh, don't worry, I have my invisibility cloak.
I knew going into putting out my first book and blogging and everything that I would have one chance to kind of get it right. I didn't want to be doing a series of pen names where I was, coming up with one and then not liking it and then coming up with another one. I wanted to kind of find something and stick to it. So we hosted a house party about this time and a bunch of my friends were there. We were having some drinks and I was like, I think I kind of want to do a pen name just so it's easy to spell, so it's easy to remember, but I really don't know what I want to do. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I was kind of going through different names and it was a whole wide variety of different names. There have been pen names I'd used back in the past when I did poetry or playwriting. I've been writing for, professionally. My first piece was published over 30 years ago.
Excuse me, what?
Now, I started sending out manuscripts when I was very young, when I was a child, so I'm not quite as old as that might suggest, but I've been doing this for a while and I've had a number of different names over the years for a variety of reasons. I had my spicy name. I had my safe for work name. I have had everything. I've had my legal name. I've had nicknames. I've done things with all of my different last names. And that's part of, I think, why I knew I wanted to come up with one for this go and stick to it, because it is such a hassle. Changing your pen name and all that entails, and it splits your audience. And I just decided I wanted to, stick with one. So anyway, I'm at this party and one of my good friends in Cleveland, he's like, you should call yourself Paige. I was like, what? He's like, why don't you call yourself Paige Turner? I laughed. I'm like, well, that's pretty cute. That's funny. And we just kind of talked about it. And the more we talked about it, the more it made sense. We were having some drinks. I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Like, why not do it? Why not go all the way? It's pretty close to my actual name. I mean, Paige is my name. My last name is actually very close to that. My last name also kind of forms a pun too. It has to do with reading and writing. If you have any guesses, feel free to put them in the comments below, but ooh, gonna out me, gonna dox me.
They doxed me.
No, we were just kind of laughing. It was like, it's silly, it's a joke, but I am a silly person. I like to joke.
You sound unhinged.
It's memorable. Okay, sure. And so Paige Turner it was, what I went with. And it's worked out very well, very memorable. Funny note about that is that after the first book was out, oh gosh, maybe a couple months later, I was talking to that same friend and I was like, thank you. Thank you so much for that recommendation. Thank you for the pen name, kind of giving him credit. It's worked out very well. It's been very good. And my friend, I kid you not, he was like, what? I was like, well, you're the one who gave me the idea. We were at the party and you told me, hey, why don't you call yourself Paige Turner? And you were clearly joking, but you're the inspiration, so thank you. And he was like, I don't remember that at all. Now, to be fair, we'd had a few drinks, but he didn't seem sloppy, blackout drunk. And he was the kind of guy who seemed like he could, hold his suds, so to speak.
Not exactly a lightweight.
Nope. No memory whatsoever of it. But you know what? I can't judge him. I just thank him for it. I certainly can't judge. Because the last time I went to Vegas, I woke up the next morning and I had so much curry powder in my cleavage and I have no idea how it got there. But you know what they say, if you wake up the next morning with curry powder in your cleavage, that's how you know you've had a good time.
Really? Is that what they say?
But yeah, isn't it funny how something that can be a joke, something that the joke maker doesn't even remember the next day can turn into something that's been really wonderful. So yes, my name is Paige. Last name is not Turner, although it's very close to Turner and is also a pun. And that's the story of how I got the pen name. And the advice I would give here, I think, is if you're thinking about coming up with a pen name, don't overthink it. Go with what feels good. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think as long as it's memorable, you're good to go. And even if it isn't, if you're a strong writer, if your vision is strong, if you keep with it, you'll probably be okay anyway. A lot of people are better writers than me, to be honest. But I stick to it, I keep out there and I keep going. But yeah, it's my most frequently asked question and that's your answer. Got some good videos planned. Thanks for putting up with the wind today. I'm in Hurricane, Utah, which is spelled like hurricane, just said differently by the locals. And despite there not being actual hurricanes here, it gets windy down in here canyons. So that's why it's so windy here right now. And that's why it's called that. I've been fighting the good fight with my hair, as I always am. My hair has a personality of its own. And if the audio got weird, I apologize. Anyway, I've got some good videos planned, some more creator topics, but today I thought I'd just do a quick one-off for y'all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.